Welcome to Detox Journey Interviews Episode 2 with Jamie is Raw Vegan. My name is Brooke, your host today, and I'm so happy to have Jamie here. I have been following her on Instagram since last year, where she bravely posts her detox journey, the triumphs, the healing crises she goes through. So, Jamie, I'm so happy to have you here. I know your story is going to help so many people.
Oh, thank you, Brooke. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. So how did you get started on this health journey?
Oh, where to begin? Where to begin? Well, specifically with going raw, it took me some time to get to this point, that's for sure.
Yeah.
About it, I guess it's been 37 weeks tomorrow and that I've been raw. So I guess that's about almost 9 months.
So you must have had health problems that you were looking for answers, right? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. The doctors told me that there's no cure, and I just always knew, don't tell me that. I'm just one of those people. Do not tell me I can't, eat certain things because of my rosacea. And
you knew there was something more. I think,
yeah.
honestly, I think that most of us, when we go to the allopathic, the doctors, when we have these ailments that we have, we know that there's just something more. There's answers out there. I know I felt that. I had knee pain since I was a child. Like I would get MRIs when I was 10 years old, and they just put me in physical therapy or something, and it was horrible. We know it's the parathyroid, taking the calcium.
Yes.
But we had to find it. We knew there was answers, right?
Yeah, and you were so young, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
So what brought me to becoming raw was I had a friend who originally she had some problems and found Dr. Morse, and she was posting on her Facebook, and at that time I wasn't interested. Like, who is this old guy? And then she's posting her eye pics, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
So I had no interest, and I had heard about Fully Raw Christina, in 2016, the summer of 2016. So it was a full year before I finally came to the light, I kind of went after doing the AIP diet for like a good year. I ended up going back to the dark side and eating some sugar, like brownies, all kinds of, just going back to the junk food again.
Yeah.
And a lot of my symptoms that I thought I had taken away were coming back.
Yep.
And I'm just like, what's going on? The weight gain slowly started, and just everything, headaches, everything. And so something happened in the summer of 2017. I was just like, I think I just need to go vegan, because I actually did try raw or semi-raw for 1 month. And that seemed to give me the best,
results, feeling.
Yeah. The best result. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember trying it a few years before I got into it. We have similar paths, and I tried it what would have been 2014, when after my second baby was born, and I went and did a juice fast for 30 days. And I didn't realize it at the time when I was going through a healing crisis, but I had the first 7 days where you feel really bad, but I kept through it and felt the best I ever felt in my life. So you kind of know there's something more to this food when little seeds start getting planted, right? It seems like that happens.
That's exactly what happened. It's like a seed thing.
Yeah.
And so I guess I was just finally ready to hear it, come that summer. And, it was just interesting because I guess my brother, I guess I didn't think he paid attention to anything on my Instagram. And so I guess he saw my pictures, me complaining about my acne being all crazy. And he put plant, that seed actually back into my mind about watch Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And so he's like, that guy actually, well, you can't say cured.
Yeah,
but
you don't want to say that for the FDA to get you.
So he healed his skin condition. He got off his meds. So I was like, all right, let me check that out. Well, sure enough, yeah. So that was like that that seed of juice, juicing in my head, even though I could never see myself ever doing that.
Yeah.
But at least it was raw is what's the point. So then I watched What the Health the next day.
Oh yeah, that's a great documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many people have turned vegan overnight from that one. And I was one of them. And so once I saw that, it was on.
Awesome.
So I didn't go raw at that point. Instead, I just went vegan. So that lasted for literally 2 weeks, because in that 2 weeks time, I had found Dr. Morse again. My friend had again said, hey, so I was just on fire. I ended up,
That's
2 weeks
amazing.
later, actually, I found out about oils and
essential oils.
No, actually just regular, oils like avocado, just olive oil. In other words, they say it's the vegan killer. Oh. So after becoming vegan for a week, the second week, I was like, okay, we're done with oils.
Yeah.
And which apparently with acne, that's a trigger too, I guess, the oils.
Yeah.
So
the lipids.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll suppress symptoms in the lymph. Sometimes they, I don't know, depending on the individual, kind of express it more. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see now that small amounts in salads and stuff, is probably no biggie. But at that time, people are, vegans are frying stuff in oil, French fries. Yeah. So they're eating lots of oil.
Healthy vegans, for sure.
Yeah.
The raw makes the difference, right?
Yeah. So once I found that out, I'm like, okay, we're cutting the oils. And so I started just steaming stuff in water, and I was shocked that that was even possible. And so I ended up doing a week of just no oils, see how I'm slowly changing. And then finally Morse completely turned me on to, going raw, at least, the fruit, obviously. So that's what I did. I ended up doing strict, astringent fruit for the first month. So I didn't even touch bananas. I mean, I was sitting there being really strict.
Yeah.
So I was on fire
You were like, I'm getting this out of me.
Yeah. So that's how I came to getting into going raw.
Awesome. Well, that is, that's a great way to get into it. I really resonate with that. Little seeds planted along the way and finding more. That definitely, and trying different diets to try to figure out, try to heal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Well, that's awesome. So you had acne and rosacea. What other health problems were you trying to eliminate when you started Detox?
Well, in my case, there's acne, and then you have people that have rosacea, which is just the redness. And in my case, I got acne rosacea. So I got the double bam. So that's the acne on top of the redness.
Yeah.
So
is the redness painful? My mother grew up, at one point had rosacea, and she had lots of freckles too that covered her whole face, but red rosacea, is it painful?
For most people, it seems to be painful. And, they have all these rules. Don't go out in the sun, because it hurts. Don't eat certain foods, spices, tomatoes. And in my case, I never experienced that redness, that hurt.
Yeah.
That was one thing that set me apart from most people with rosacea, And I kind of want to attribute it to me changing my diet. Since 2012, I first woke up to watching Food Inc.
Oh
And
yeah.
that kind of set that set the wheels turning,
Yeah.
set the stage for change. So I feel like I probably could have been worse, but I really think that, I kind of helped myself because I woke up before I even had the redness, in other words.
Oh,
So
so
yeah.
the redness kind of started as you were.
Well, they say from, I listen to John Rose a lot. And so in one of his videos, he was saying that inflammation actually means your body's trying to heal.
Yeah.
And so I actually didn't have the redness until I actually went on the AIP diet and started eating more fruits and vegetables. And now all this time later, I figured that out. That's probably why the redness came, because even though I was still eating meat, my body was trying to purge.
For
And
sure.
yeah,
There's that balance. Even if you have a little bit, I think your body still wants to detox. But if you're putting that chemistry in with the meat, I
yeah,
totally can see that it's like your body's like trying to fight that chemistry and it's just showing its way on your skin.
yeah. And so that's what happened when I went raw too. But I guess
Yeah.
we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
And so you're asking if there was other problems?
Yeah. Were there other health problems that you're aiming to detox out?
Yeah, I actually have some neck arthritis, believe
Oof.
it or not.
Ow.
And now I know why. It's acid buildup. But, I'm like, I am how old?
Yeah.
The doctor tells me when I'm like, what, 30, I think, 29, 30. And he's like, oh, that's just a little neck arthritis. I'm like,
Just a
because I
little.
literally hear crunching when I wake up in the morning. I'm like, what is this? So
Yeah.
that was something I really wanted to target. And then depression,
Yeah.
that seems to be pretty common.
It sounds like all your health problems are from the parathyroid, huh?
A lot of them are, and a lot of them are spider veins. I've
Yeah.
got those on my upper thighs, and I can't believe I'm talking about this on camera, but hemorrhoids.
Yeah. It's a big
um,
problem.
and that again is parathyroid.
Yep.
And so, it's something I got when I was pregnant, and it's just there's a slight pain, back there, and that between the rosacea, the spider veins, and the arthritis and the depression, those were my major ones. And
Yep.
also ingrown toenail,
Yep.
you
So
know
isn't that a fungus problem with the balance in the GI tract? It's just the food.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that never did get to the worst case. Like I'm in the middle where it's curved, but it didn't stick into the skin and get pussy like
Yeah.
most people get. So mine's in the middle, and again, I believe that's from my
From the
diet
diet.
change. So
Yeah,
it could have been worse.
for sure.
And yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's you have a journey for sure with all those health problems that you're going through, but I'm really happy that you know the answer now, how to detox
I
these things
know.
out. Like what heaven sent. It really is, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I was programmed to watch Dr. Morse
Yeah.
like constantly that first month, him and John Rose, and they just full of knowledge, and just to be able to be your own hero, your own doctor.
Yeah. Be your
And
own. Yeah, you've taken charge of your life. You're doing it and having the answer. It's a
yeah,
journey. Like it's hard work. It gets easier as it becomes a lifestyle. But I mean, just having the answer is way more than most people even get, because you go to the doctor, they give you something to treat it. They're not telling you why it's happening. You
exactly.
like, it's now you know why, and now you know how to reverse it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's amazing.
Thank
So
you.
let's get into, I know you had some healing crisis symptoms. What healing crisis symptoms have you experienced?
Well, yeah, as soon as I went completely through the acne just went crazy. That was like the first thing. I mean, it was already starting to get crazy when I went vegan the 2 weeks prior, but it was just like by week 2 of actually being raw, it was, you got the picture. It was like whiteheads galore, and that was rough. And then I got lots of headaches, lots and lots of headaches, which I always had stress headaches anyway. So I just knew it was detox. I would bloat. I had a lot of trouble sleeping, just tossing and turning,
Yeah.
cold and flu-like symptoms. I was spewing out mucus all the time because I was eating a lot of watermelon. That's really good for getting the mucus out of the nose. And then coughing up some of the phlegm, mucus. Weight loss. I lost 10 pounds just in the 4 weeks, like right off the bat.
Yeah.
My fingers started splitting, like the skin, like really bad. From what I heard, that was a symptom of detox, skin splitting. Yeah. Once I got a dry brush, that actually took that away like that, like because I was moving the lymph.
Yep.
Abscesses in my mouth, dizziness, the joint pain again started up, in my knees and my elbows, depression. That's like the emotional feelings and mainly feeling sorry for myself because like, am I really going to live off fruit for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
That was
that emotional component too.
Yeah, that was really hard in the beginning. And so of course at that point, after the 4 weeks, I slowly added in the fruit veggies and the guacamole, and you could just see the change and how much happier I was and just blooming. And then recently, after coming off of a juice feast, I ended up having major healing crisis. Where I couldn't walk for 3 days.
Oh my goodness, huh?
So that was to me pretty major. And
coming out, moving out.
Especially with juicing, because it's like the highest on the pyramid, underwater fasting. And so I became a major zombie during that whole 32 days is what I did. Because of that major healing crisis, I had to quit, or I had to break the fast, and I ended up losing my hair. If you can see, it's only like hair on one side. I should have hair on my other side. This is like all my hair. And so, and then edema, which is usually in my lower legs.
Oh man, you have had some healing crisis symptoms for sure. Oh my goodness. I want people to know watching this, because it's always something that they're scared of. The thing is, with healing crisis, when you're healing with fruit, it's something to be empowered, knowing that this is what your body's doing, is you're breaking down what's bad. You're going to see it on its way out. And when you're going to feel yourself regenerate after all of this stuff is out. So be empowered knowing that, depending on how bad your genes are, depending on how bad your diet used to be, you're going to have some healing crisis symptoms. It's nothing to be scared about. And know you can balance it too. See, I think it's so important to say, like, here, like, it's just coming to me to say, like, this is probably one reason why we don't want to just jump into dry fasting per se from a standard American diet. Could you imagine if you dry fasted, knowing all those healing crisis symptoms you experience? Could you imagine like jumping into dry fasting and like, because your body is going to heal itself,
I would be probably bedridden.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know I had acid buildup in my, hip like that. That just came surprise.
Yeah. Most of the healing crisis symptoms I've experienced have been like, really? Like, I didn't realize that was related, but it is. So you can get right into raw fruit. You can transition slowly if you can't take time off, or know how to balance it, like you say, adding in those fruit veggies after. changed like your depression symptoms and stuff. Like, it's important to know you can balance things. So I want you guys to know that. Just be empowered when you're going through this. And
Yes.
congratulations for going through all of that.
I went from one end of the spectrum
Yeah.
to the other and then back again. I mean, I'm just back and forth up the pyramid, down the pyramid.
Yeah. You kind of have to play with it, it's an experiment with yourself and whatnot. Would you change anything knowing what you know now, going through all those healing crisis symptoms? Would you have gone slower or just go right through it?
Yeah, I think we learn as we go.
Yeah.
And I think I probably would have incorporated maybe more veggie juices during the juice feast, because fruit's powerful.
Yeah.
So I wish it would have went past 32. I mean, I was trying to do it for, to really clean out that colon. So that's really my only off the top of my head that I can think of, where I wish I could go back and maybe add more,
just
vegetable juices.
Transition a little easier to it. Yeah, that's
balance it out.
Yeah. That's a good tip for anyone thinking about getting into this, because I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this like, oh, so her experience, maybe I can look into it and see what would be the best route for me to take. So that's cool. That's good to know. All right, let's move on to the next question then.
All right.
Have you ever had an iridology reading?
Well, I haven't actually had a professional one. So I have had somebody, do them for donation only. And, he checked it out and, he told me a few things that I didn't already know. I mean, they make it easy now being, you can kind of learn on your own. So that's what I love about technology.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he told me a few things. So I've utilized those.
That's great. Yeah. It's really, I should try to find some links. I'll link some websites down below, maybe some resources you guys can look into, maybe a couple Dr. Morse videos. He has a bunch of tutorials. And it's just a really easy science to understand what's happening in your body, soft tissues in real time. Great as a mother, to look into your children's eyes, things like that. I think it's great. Did you ever have any healing crisis symptoms that made you stop your daily activities?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I stay home, so I'm a housewife, homemaker, stay-at-home mom. And so I was able to really dive in and do this, where if the things that I've experienced, I don't know how anybody could do it if they're working.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I've been a zombie the whole time. I'm just now starting to get energy and actually get off the couch and do things. So it's been a very slow process, and that's due to low adrenals and thyroid weakness. And that's another thing with the juicing is, like I said, that whole month I was even way worse than what I was before. And there wasn't a lot I did during that time. It was just not a good combination for somebody with weak adrenals and a weak thyroid, when it comes to long-term juicing.
For sure.
So that's something I learned. And it seems to be happening with a lot of other folks too. They say the same thing. They turn into zombies.
Yeah, the adrenal fatigue.
So you're supposed to, when you have those two, Dr. Morse says it's double fatigue. So yeah, it's even worse. But when you have those two down, it's really not good to do long-term juicing. So maybe like a week at a time.
Yeah.
So that's a good tip too.
Yeah, that is a good tip. I actually haven't heard that one. So that's great.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of, like, my house has been a mess. And
yeah. Isn't it usually when you're a housewife, right? I deal with that.
Yeah.
It's just never ending work. And then on top of not feeling good. I'm sure that was not the funnest.
Yeah, I mean, really the energy has just been a big bummer on me, just seeing my house become, gross
Yeah.
over this time frame. So again, I'm just now starting to get that energy back where I feel like getting up and cleaning and
That's great
and
for you to be able to see the differences, though. That now that
big time.
your body's feeling a bit more energized, it must lift your spirits up a little.
Yeah, because I knew it would come. I just had to embrace the process.
Yeah. Were there any other healing crisis symptoms that kept you down, or is it just the super, the pain and like the adrenal fatigue that was really?
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, when you got no energy, I mean,
Mm,
that stinks. I mean, you don't feel like doing
right.
anything. I
Like
know some
opening your
people,
eyes is like work.
yeah, I mean, some people force themselves. I guess you have to if you work too. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's really that. And when I was, with the major healing crisis and not being able to walk, that
Yeah.
was
Oof.
that was the worst. I mean,
I saw your Instagram video of that this morning too. I was peeking around. You have a little story of it, right? Of you
yes,
trying
good
to
point.
walk.
Yes. So anybody that's interested, yeah, when she tells you how to find me later,
Yeah.
there's a little I have it on my Instagram and in the highlight section,
Yeah.
like the story highlights right on the top of the page.
Yeah, I'll
Me
do a
going
little link.
through it.
Yeah, that just
Uh,
looked oof. I was feeling for you there, like, oh my goodness.
Did you see how skeletal I looked?
Yeah, right.
So I
Yeah.
literally lost another 10 pounds,
Oh,
juicing.
that's a good
So
point. And do you think you were dealing with any malabsorption? That's usually,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
That's why I literally went down 85 pounds.
man, yeah. But you're gaining it back up, right? I saw
Now
your,
I'm actually back up to about 96. So
and
today's
you
my
have,
weigh in day and I forgot
yeah.
to weigh in.
Oh, you have to do it after. You have to let us know.
But last week I was just under 96. So yeah.
That's great. And you haven't really added in anything drastic. Like you're not eating a bunch of
No.
fats, or it's just the same raw food. So that's just an amazing point. I want us to really, bring out for people. Like if you're dealing with malabsorption, you're going to lose weight as you're breaking down
Yeah.
the bad stuff in your body, but you can still build up, and you're just the most amazing example of that.
Yeah. Well, now I am on the glandular. So after that healing crisis, of course I was like, okay, I got to get on that glandular.
Yeah.
And because that fixed, the bones and the connective tissue. And so I noticed I've been gaining since taking that.
Oh, that's
So
great.
I actually didn't seem to gain even after I broke the juice fast. But once I took that glandular, it's like you could just see the weight was coming on slowly. And then I am eating, avocado, but it's like one and a half to the most,
A
so
day.
that may have helped. I mean,
Yeah.
but again, I was eating that way before the
When you were
juicing.
losing the weight, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, after I had initially lost the weight from the fruit, I pretty much stayed that way for like 3 months, eating salads with avocado every
Mm.
night and stuff, so
Your body was still detoxing with all those fruit veggies, and now it's gaining back up with all of it. That's so amazing. It's just so amazing to
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I have to say I'm blown away by it because I'm always telling people, "Hey, look at all that I'm accomplishing here with eating, avocados and
Right?
vegetables and stuff." So
That's so amazing.
I know veggies get a bad name, so I'm the one saying, "Hey, now."
I like veggies. They give me a really great emotional balance. Like
Yes.
I had a salad before we started this. It's just sometimes
Yay.
I know I like the balance. I'm losing a lot of weight really quickly too. I'm not sure how low
Okay.
it's going to get. So I'm just trying to kind of balance it out physically and emotionally.
Well, your journey is going to be awesome because you actually are losing weight. You know what I mean? Like I had already lost my weight on the standard, just eating meat and stuff. But
Right?
you are actually losing it while being raw.
Yeah.
So,
There's the two different sides where you can start skinny, and then when we're both dealing with malabsorption. It's actually an
yeah.
interesting point you make, because we're both dealing with malabsorption where we have to break down to build back up. Where you were only already petite before, and then
Yeah,
you
I
lose
was,
it. Sometimes that's really scary for people. So, but it's important
yeah.
you can build back up.
Yeah, I weighed 105 when I started. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And I had already, what's funny is I had already lost 2 pounds. I think I was like 108, 107 when I went vegan those 2 weeks. So I was already starting to lose just by chucking the meat
Yeah. Isn't
and the
that
oil. Yeah.
interesting, huh? Yeah. It's an important point to make, where you can, some people it's good. Like me, I'm just losing the excess weight that's not supposed to be on my body.
Yes.
I don't know how low it'll go. We'll see on this journey, but it's
I can't wait.
right.
I can't wait to see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. Right now I'm at 75 pounds down.
That's
So, which is
awesome.
good. I honestly wouldn't, I would stop losing weight 20 pounds ago and I wouldn't mind, but it just
Yeah.
keeps coming
But
off.
you have to do it
Yeah.
to come out in the end.
Right. It's interesting to watch the body. And I'm interested to see how like much you're going to gain being on the raw same foods. Like that is going
Yeah.
to be really cool to see how much your body builds back up just from the same fruit while detox.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the regeneration part.
Yeah.
Now,
And
and
that's what
then,
I want.
right? I know that's what we work towards. It's going to be really cool too to see like what you regenerate, because it's not just about the weight either. Because a lot of people make it about the weight. I notice a lot of people are like, wow, you've lost so much weight. You look so good. But what's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
important is what's going on the inside, how you're feeling, what
Yeah.
symptoms are disappearing, and what you're regenerating is the
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah. Yep. I'm like, don't give me no cooked food. I
Yeah.
want the regeneration.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what you're going to regenerate. I
I
mean,
can't wait to see you. Yeah,
yeah.
because a lot of us are not showing this stuff
Yeah,
and it really needs to be put out there.
it is. It's going to help so many people. It makes me really excited to be able to talk about this. Thank you so
Yeah.
much again for joining, because this is just, it really is a passion, I think, for both of us to be able to be like, look what I did. Look what's
Yes.
possible. Like, you need to know this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so
And
amazing.
I've had some pretty crazy things happen, or, start to heal. So raw foods gets the glory.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get on to the next question. So we talked about the healing crisis symptoms. You talked a little bit about depression, the emotional aspect of it.
Hmm.
Were there other emotional or spiritual detox symptoms that you've had?
Um, just mainly feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Like, because nobody else in our mind, we're like, nobody eats this way.
Yeah.
So how are we
You
going to
alone.
do it? And I know they say you go raw for a certain time to heal yourself, and then you could kind of gradually, go back to cooked vegan, or, even have some meat here and there, which I would never do. And just knowing what I know now. But,
Yeah.
I honestly just have it in my mind that I wouldn't want to go back to
Yeah.
even cooked food. I mean, just to keep feeling good and keep your body regenerating. I mean, this is anti-aging. This is like,
Yeah. Right.
and so spiritually speaking, I personally believe in creation. So to me, this is just showing God's amazing, say how amazing our body is,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and how, he knew what he was doing, like
Yes.
you give your body the right You you give it the right
God's food.
I just said it to you online yesterday. You give it the right condition
Yeah.
or the right element, and you can heal anything. Anything's possible with God.
It is. It's a completely spiritual journey. I really get where you're going there. And I think it's something you think about often when you're putting in food that's designed for us, that was created for us, for our
There you
bodies.
go. You couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah. Yeah. You think about it a lot as you're putting food in and you're deciding not to put pain and suffering in from a sentient being. You're
Yes.
thinking about just the energy that's coming in and how it's created for us.
Yeah. And it's electric. It's alive. It's living food. We're not eating dead.
Yeah. You can feel it too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the reason I'm even on here doing this with you is because of the living foods.
Right.
I think the old me was just cowering behind the phone, like would not have just been so open like I am now.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see the change that I've developed before my eyes.
It's a spiritual journey. It's a personal spiritual journey. I really resonate with that. I used to be very shy before starting this. And at the same time of eating all this raw food was the time where I thought, I'm going to be my authentic self. I'm just
Way to
going to
go.
express myself. I think that's right. Is that
Yeah.
kind of like what you
And
did?
what I've noticed is people love that. They would rather see real than fake.
Yes.
And so, I keep it real.
Yeah.
I show the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I know. If you guys aren't following Jamie on Instagram, you need to check her out and go follow her, because I just love how you put the real raw emotional moments. It's things that we need to see, because sometimes it can be kind of glamorous, but really it's so important to know the real aspect of it. And I really appreciate how you're genuine about that.
Yeah, I've actually passed parasites. That's
Have
another
you?
thing I didn't think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was literally like nauseous. Like right before you're about to pass one, you get nauseous, apparently, in my case.
Yeah.
And this was while juicing. So one day of grape juice got me a parasite.
Woo-hoo.
And I showed myself laying on the ground, whimpering like a little, ooh.
I have to go see that. I haven't seen that one yet.
That one is in my stories, and I have to put something together. But, some people got to see that. They got to see, so yeah, it's mainly like the stories on Instagram and they go through to Facebook now. But
yeah,
that literally shows like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, So
that's awesome. That'll be good to know. I'm just waiting. I don't know if I have any, but it's kind of one of my fears.
Did you eat meat?
I did. And if you eat meat and if you put that terrain in your body, you have to have helpers.
Yes,
Honestly,
yes.
mhm. I think that there is at least one surviving in there. I can kind of feel it like on my upper stomach when I eat cooked vegetables. If I eat cooked vegetables, it goes through, and it's not like my stomach is like gurgling or it's not like it's going through my stomach. Like it literally feels like something foreign is squiggling around in there, happy it's getting its meal. Blech.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, someone else has mentioned she felt something too. I mean, some people I guess can.
Yeah.
And your own body, but
Yeah.
there's apparently parasites in people's heads.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine that? Yeah.
Gives me the heebie-jeebies. But
I'm so used to now. I mean, I'm a toilet hunter.
Yeah, I know, right? It's interesting when you go on this journey, when the amount of time you spend analyzing stuff in the bathroom.
Yes,
It's
yes.
interesting though.
I try to show my family they don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, yeah. My poor husband, he sees me like with my jars of pee in there, filters, and I did take the Parasite G for a while. So I was looking around when I took that. I didn't
Okay.
think
Yeah,
at the
that's when they
time,
should come out. Yeah.
right? Yeah, I didn't see anything on that. So well, no, we'll see on this
Well,
journey. If I'm brave enough to share it like you, I will.
yeah, you'd be
It's
surprised how
important.
many people are interested.
Oh, it's important for sure.
But
Well,
I have not actually posted my parasite. Those I kind of keep private, and if you want to see it, message me.
right. Well, there you go, guys. If you're interested in seeing your parasite, let her know.
My daughter said, "Mom, please don't post that. I have friends following you."
Oh man, right? It's kind of one of those
So,
things for sure. Who
yeah,
was it? Hilde Larson. I saw one of her videos where she was talking about pulling one out.
I saw that.
Did you
Yeah.
see that one? Yeah. Maybe
Yeah, she's
I'll
known
link
as the parasite puller.
the parasite puller. That's great.
Everybody heard that story. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'll
That
link
would
it
creep
above.
you out.
Oh my gosh. See, and that's what I think that might be what gave me my fear, but it's good to know. Could you imagine going into this not knowing there's a possibility that you would have parasites from eating meat and then
Yeah, yeah.
experiencing it? Whew.
And she had limes, I believe, right?
I
Limes.
think it was, yeah.
So it seems like some people with limes, I think that's a trend. Like they really have some gnarly parasites
Yeah. That would make sense for sure in the GI.
because they're like almost bedridden. I mean, they're
Yeah,
where they can't use their hands and stuff. So,
for sure. Yeah, that could be. Alrighty. Well, let's get back to this next question. We have a few more minutes left. So, um, you mentioned a few changes in your social circle with your family, like eating, a little bit different. So, how has that been socially with your family and friends, changing this lifestyle?
that has been one of the roughest things. I can deal with all the healing crisis, all the miserableness, that goes along with detox. But one thing that has gotten to me, I guess emotionally speaking, then this would be one. You really find out who your true friends are, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, the family, they're all, worried,
Yeah.
because I said I went down to 85 pounds. So my family definitely was concerned for me. They thought I was malnourished. I wrote down some things. Protein deficient,
Mhm.
like my husband literally thought that with me not being able to walk like that, he thought I was literally like my body was giving out on me.
Yeah. I can
And
imagine how scary that was for family to see.
yeah, they don't understand.
Yeah.
And so I've had a lot of friends, just drop me.
Oh,
Um, I just call them fake friends.
yeah. Yeah.
um, let's see, I've been called anorexic. Are
Mm,
you too skinny? You should eat.
yeah.
And, I'm eating a ton. So people don't realize how hurtful they are.
Yeah.
And that has been really troublesome for me because I'm a sensitive kind of gal. And, it hurts.
Yeah.
So this is something a lot of people are going to struggle with when they detox because really, what do they say? Like 10% of the population is raw vegan, like, or just that actually are raw. I mean, it's not something people know about, so they don't understand, and you're a minority. And so to them, it's weird, seeing
Yeah.
all these changes. I've had friends go behind my back to my husband and ask if I'm
Oh,
okay, and so it was a constant thing this whole time. I think it's starting to finally slow down because, I'm gaining the weight back and people are like, but today, even at church, I had someone was concerned, are you okay? So
yeah.
apparently, I guess I'm still too bony.
Yeah. You'll get
And
those comments, I'm sure. Just people
yeah,
have those, they only have the lens that they're looking for with their awareness that they have. And if you're aware of this
yeah,
kind of thing, then pretty much you're on this journey. So
Exactly. You just got to embrace the suck.
yeah.
Embrace it. So I actually recently just I'm just tired of the negativity, and you have to, and that's another thing. You have to, like, when I first started, I actually unfollowed, everybody that ate cooked food, because that's something I should have mentioned early on. Because that really helped me, and then my Instagram, I did the same thing. I just follow raw foodies to keep me motivated, and you keep all that worldly junk out, and you just focus on yourself when you're first starting. And so that's something I did do.
That's an
And
excellent tip.
so, but I did make a new Facebook for those that are actually interested in following my journey, who are currently on my Facebook, and then, anyone else, so that I can just stop getting that negativity when I post over on my personal.
I totally get that. And people, when when you're living your authentic, real like life that you're supposed to be, um, people just become attracted to you, and you start getting people in your life that understand what you're going through. They're on the same journey, your tribe. So I'm sure a lot of
Yep,
people will
yep.
head on over there. Guys, go over there. It gives Jamie some support, because I'll link it down below. I'll put her a little link and what it's called right there.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, give her some support. I kind of I can just imagine like what you're going through. With me, with losing a lot of weight, I just had a family get together yesterday, and everyone was saying, wow, you look great, and you've lost all the weight, what are you doing? And it's, I'm not like a compliment person, so it was like, oh, thank
Oh.
you. But I can just imagine if I was skinny going, skinnier, what those
Mm-hmm.
comments would be, and it would be people being worried. So,
That's what it is.
and we're dealing with the same thing. So, it's just, let's raise awareness about it for sure.
Trust me, you continue the path you're on, it's going to come your way.
Yeah.
Just be warned.
I know, right? People are going to be like, oh, geez.
I mean, you're going to go insane, because I literally locked myself up in my house the first 3 months.
Oh, man.
And because my face, but I was able to do that. I would here and there just get groceries,
Yeah.
but it was rough. But as soon as I came back into the world, here I was skinnier. And so, yeah, it was like, whoa, what happened to you?
Yeah. Well, it's good, and when you're at like a steadier point, you're going to be able to, raise awareness. Your friends and family are going to, be with you through this journey. The ones that matter.
Mm-hmm.
They're going
You're
to be,
right about that. You really
yeah,
do weed out the
the ones
weeds.
that, yeah, exactly. The ones that
Yeah.
aren't there for your best
Yeah.
interest, for sure.
And now, honestly, if I was, say I was to go back to juicing or just going all fruit, next week, I don't know if I'm going to lose. I would think I would lose again. So I don't know. I mean, who knows if my malabsorption is really completely fixed, is and I
Right?
plan on doing this
You'll
in
have to
another week. Yeah.
you'll have to test the waters, and you're right about that. And that's a good point for our viewers to make, is with malabsorption, Jamie, in her case, she could go back to fruit, and if she loses a little bit more weight, she's still dealing with that. There will be a point where she will gain weight on this.
Yeah. And I think that's probably further down the line,
Yeah.
So this is just because I'm on the glandular. Maybe it actually, is correcting it. Well, maybe I cleaned out my gut enough to,
Yeah.
because I am going, 2 to 4 times a day sometimes,
Oh yeah.
on
So you're
my own
still,
without the herbs.
yeah, and that's a good segue into my next question. So what
Okay.
herbs are you taking or have?
So right now, well, I started out after that 4 weeks of, astringent fruits, doing it real strict. I ended up finally deciding to do, because I heard about the parasites then. And I'm just like, okay, I want them out.
Yeah.
So I got on the 14-week protocol. And that actually got some parasites out for sure. Even just doing the astringent fruit started getting parasites out. So it was interesting, you know, like they took on the watermelon color, you know, because they're sitting in your gut and they're shriveling, you know, dying, and you see them.
Wow.
And so then doing the Parasite M, that definitely got some living looking ones. They weren't alive, but you could literally see what they look like. Like it literally looked like worms.
Wow.
But I did do the whole 14-week kit, and I finished that probably right before December. And then I took a break and didn't do any herbs, and then jumped into the juicing, and that's when I got on the thyroid herb. And that probably is why my hair is falling out now, because that's got to do with the thyroid. And so it's almost like it's catching up and focusing on what the thyroid does. And again, with the energy, that also is a factor. So starting to get that energy. And right now I'm on the heart tincture, and because of my spider veins and just circulation.
Yeah.
Then I hear it's good for the nose area. It seems like all the face maps I see online, they all point to the nose being like the heart. So I figured, it wouldn't hurt to do that.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt to just take them. They
Yeah.
don't hurt. They help.
Yeah, to get the circulation. And then I'm on the endocrine glands, so that's going to get all the glands. And the parathyroid, of course. And then there is, I do have the stomach and bowel formulas if I ever need them. But like I said, I've been pretty on my own, going on my own. So haven't had to use them. But there's also one more. Oh, the kidney glandular. I just started that, you know, because I actually lost my filtration.
Oh, did you?
While juicing. Yeah.
Wow.
Which a lot of people, I think they're shocked to hear that.
Yeah.
But again, that's because of my situation with the adrenals. And because, you know, when you stop eating, your gut's getting cleaned out, but now you're making your kidneys constantly work. Instead of them filtering out the old waste, they're now filtering out what you're consuming, you know, on the juicing. So that actually, you know, made my kidneys actually stop filtering really good. And I had some good filtration after doing that 14-week protocol. And I kept it up too that whole month of December, eating avocados, salads, you know, vegetables that other people, you know, wouldn't. They're not veggie or fruit veggies, but you know, I eat what makes me happy as long as it's raw. But I was still having good filtration until I started juicing. So
I've seen balance, like I've seen a lot of people and seen it in myself too, where it comes really, you know, your kidneys can like crack open, you get a lot of filtration, it slows down sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I've been struggling to get it back. And so I'm thinking hopefully this kidney glandular will help. If not, I'll just get back on the kidney herbs because I know they actually did help.
Yeah, you'll have to keep us updated on your Instagram and Facebook with how your kidney glandular is doing. I'll be interested to hear how that process is.
Yeah,
for sure. So, all right. Well, we are on my last question. This interview's been going so good. So what is one tip that you would like to give someone debating on starting detox or beginning their detox journey?
Okay. Well, I would say you don't have to be so strict. Like what I did, I just jumped right in and just did. I wouldn't even touch like the sweet fruits. No way. And again, that was just like major detox going on. And so I just said, you don't have to be so strict unless, you know, you're dying of cancer. That's a different situation, you know.
Yeah.
And dis-ease.
Yeah.
And so, you don't have to, you know, be perfect, you know. And I see that with a lot of people in the groups. They struggle because they're like, it's hard for them. And so I had that same situation. As soon as I added in the veggies, I just felt more balanced,
Balance.
I guess.
Yeah.
But also my journey on Instagram is proof of, that there is still success in eating vegetables, and
Oh, sure.
I've got plenty of proof of that, so because even the first thing I noticed started going away was the spider veins, like after a month and a half. So of course I was all fruit, but after a month and a half, that's when I noticed. So, and they just continued to fade the more I went on. So just saying, you don't have to be completely strict, don't kill yourself,
Right. I'm a big advocate for that because I think a lot of the times people in this go in with, it's kind of like an ego thing. I mean, it's you know, you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. It's just your body is so unique depending on your genetic history, depending on what you ate prior. And some people can jump right into fruit and feel fine, but there's just, there's this balancing that you have to do, and you can slow detox down a little bit if you're feeling emotional problems or physical problems with raw veggies, or if you need to, if you were working or something and you had that time where you couldn't walk, cook some veggies up and it stops the detox. Just do it a little more slowly. But so there's this balance. That's kind of a theme. I think Corey Fruitarian in my last interviews, kind of said something like that, is, it's balance. Yeah.
I think because we all just jump in sometimes, and we learn that, like, oh no.
We all learn that. I learned that because I was like, I'm 100% fruit. Woo!
Yeah.
It's just,
and then to take it to that next level, only astringent fruit, and or subacid, and so
for sure. That's a great tip. Thank you so much, Jamie. So,
you're welcome.
I'm going to give this bonus to you guys. Jamie was so gracious. She shared her favorite recipe of hers, the salad dressing. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? And I'll put a little graphic up here for you guys to see the ingredients.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm just on this. That's another thing. You go through this, like, you love something for, a couple of weeks, and then you get tired of it, and then you find something else. And so right now I'm just, and actually I've been using it for probably a good couple of weeks now, and I just love it. I named it a spicy tahini, just basic tahini, and you add a little spice to it, and it's just delicious. So I know might not be exactly what everybody is into as far as spicy food and garlic, but
I like a little garlic. I'm going to try that on my next salad for sure. I hope you guys try it. Let her know if you like it in the comments below. So what I'll do is I'll link Jamie's Facebook, Instagram, and you do Twitter too, right? So I'll link that down below. I'm not on Twitter, so we'll have to let people,
that's where you tweet out things, so that could get me in trouble.
I could see that being fun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So be sure to follow Jamie as she continues on with her raw journey, her raw fruit and raw moments. I love it. Thank you so much, Jamie, for joining me today. This was such a great interview.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you.
I hope you all enjoyed it. And be sure to subscribe to Shattering Norms for more detox journeys, interviews coming up. On this channel, you'll learn more about health, detoxification, spirituality, weight loss, and cellular regeneration. So be the love, share the love. You never know what loved one might be suffering with a problem like Jamie just experienced. So let them see her amazing journey, and maybe it'll help them Thank you guys so
Yay.
much. Thank you, Jamie.
All right. Thank you, Brooke. Thanks
I'll
for
talk.
having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.